And it's guys like you that make his dad step out of pocket.
And that's why Giannis should have slapped the shit out of his dad. Giannis should have slapped the shit out of him. That's a free body. Giannis is a good man. I would have slapped the shit out of his dad. You're psycho. How do you do that shit? You want to brag about hitting my BM? Who cares? I don't care. You know who I was doing back then, nigga? Like, Drake's fucking 6-something and Kendrick is 5'4". Shut the fuck up. When Bron fans DM us and they're so offended and mad and they talk about fighting and all kind of shit, I won't have to deal with this shit no more if he's gone. Go away. This is your boy Iggy.
It's your boy Woods.
You are now tuned in to another episode of Hip Hop Hoops Podcast. I want to thank everybody who's been supporting us, man. We really appreciate that. Listen, man, how you support me and my brother right here, just like, share, comment, all that good stuff, man. Just support the movement, Hip Hop Hoops. We do it for you. Shout out to Title League, Distant Cousins.
Distant Cousins, man.
You know what it is.
Working, man.
It's love. Follow us on the website. Check it out. You got all the merch on there, man. hhhhoops.com. Us all love. And, we got a special guest today.
Hey.
Special guest today is a basketball mind. I appreciate his work. Good dude. Coach O, man. Coach O,
O's
welcome.
in the building.
I appreciate
Coach
y'all,
O's in the building. We need those hand claps, man.
Y'all should have brought me a bigger crown hoodie. That shit is tight as ever, man.
Yeah.
Coach
I'm about to give that to my daughter, man.
Coach O is Byway Montreal.
Yes.
He was at Orangeville Prep coaching over there, did a wonderful job over there. Now he's at Royal Crown doing wonderful things, winning chips, man. Talk about your journey, man, quickly, man. Your journey of coaching and getting from Montreal over here.
Well, first of all, appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yeah,
it's all love, man.
I guess I love being in this spot, man. This is like an amazing spot you guys got going on.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know where to start. I think for me, it's really like, I'm a product of like really great parenting. I got to give shout out to my parents. My dad taught me how to work hard, be relentless with your approach.
Definitely.
My mom just taught me to be kind, just be nice to others. So having like that perfect balance, like it really kind of shapes how I view basketball now, right? I was never like I tell people this all the time. I was never like a gifted athlete, right? I always had to work for everything that I had.
Thanks.
So for me, I kind of like try to take on that approach into my coaching, right? How I ended up in Ontario, which is now almost like my second home, right? Is like, it's really during the pandemic, right? Everything got shut down. Had an opportunity. Tony McIntyre was the guy that hired me at Orangeville.
Shout out Tony.
Shout out Tony Mac.
Yeah.
Hired me at Orangeville, stayed there for 4 years. And then afterwards, there was just a management change and, decided to go in a different direction. And I got lucky enough that, Coach Chris Excellence decided to give me an opportunity.
Shout out to my brother.
The visionary, man.
So, yes, sir. Man. And, now we're doing what we're doing at Royal Crown. And you know what? It's, looking back at my journey, I think you really realize how there's little moments that really happen. And it's really an addition of everything that gets you to where you're at.
Right.
So, really appreciative that I was able to be given opportunities by great people. And, mentorship's super important, right? So for me, to be in this situation, being around people that know basketball and me learning, me wanting to be curious and learn. It's been an amazing journey. I can't complain.
And you guys are winning a bunch of chimps at the same time, man.
Damn.
How much you guys won the MPH this year?
Yep.
What else did you guys? You guys went to the finals and
So if all goes well, crossing fingers, we have our OBL playoffs right here that are coming up next weekend with our girls.
Yes.
And then we have a last spring league that we're in with our senior boys regional team.
Yeah.
If all goes well, we will have doubled the number of championships we got in 1 year.
Damn.
That is insane.
So,
how did the boys say it? Give me some dip with the chips.
Yeah.
Dang, that's how you guys are moving.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
that's incredible.
How do you keep the kids motivated? Because I got a chance to, watch some. I'm a 2030 type of guy. I got the class of 2030 on Smash, and you got my man Amari over there. He's a young bull. You got Curtis, another young bull. Jael. You got some young bulls over there, and just seeing their development,
right,
at the grade 8 level, I'm like, holy smokes! You could tell they're learning some stuff at Crown.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And they're just coming back from the States right now. They're heading to Peach Jam. They just slapped up the junior EYBL with Locked In and BME. I'm just like, yo, there's levels to it, and you guys have that. What's the word? You have that formula because I'm seeing these kids. You see them at one place from a development stage in September.
Yep.
And then by the time November, December hits, they're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to shout you guys out. Yeah. Shout them out. They're looking good, man.
It's funny that you're saying that because I think like having been at Orangeville for the past years, I competed against Crown. And it was always like, I remember that when we used to scout against these players, I used to always be like, okay, well, for most teams in our league, we can keep the same scout all year.
Right.
Royal Crown was the only team that the scout would change because the players would get better. So if you're going under on screens in November, you better know that by March.
A way to fight through that shit.
Hey, yo, you
go under, you're gonna pay.
Yo, so it's amazing to be on this side now and seeing like, you know, the biggest thing is just consistency.
Right.
Just every day, you know, Coach Chris tells us, you know, we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. Yeah. You know, and that's just showing up every day, making sure that we just get 1% better every day.
That's it. No, I rate that, man. And last question. I'm gonna be a little messy with it, man.
Yeah.
Flipping. You guys in Fort Erie, man.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got a love-hate relationship, maybe? Because they're coming like you guys can beat them, but then when you guys play in the grind session, like they're slapping up everybody, and those teams they're slapping up. You know, they got the dub on you guys.
Yep.
But then when you guys meet Fort Erie, it's like, yo.
Yeah.
So I'm learning like matchups are everything. I don't know if matchups just favor you guys at the moment, but I just want to shout out you guys and I want to shout out Fort Erie. It could be a 1A, 1B type thing.
I don't even know if it's the players. It might be the coaches.
You know what I mean?
They got the issues.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, yo.
But there's something there. There's something there
because you guys are the head of the class, man. You guys are the cream of the crop. You guys set the bar. I think both programs, really and truly. But when you guys meet head to head, y'all be slapping them still, man.
Yeah, it's always been a fun matchup. It's always a fun matchup. And it's like, I think you realize then that there's so many people that really like care. I didn't realize, this is my first year being a part of like that Fort Erie Royal Crown kind of matchup, right? And it's like, you realize how many people are invested in it.
Yeah.
And then what's crazy about it is that you got boys and girls. So it's like if the girls are playing, the boys are in the stands. If the boys are playing, the girls are in the stands, right? So it's like I like that there's that kind of rivalry because, you know, quite frankly, we're missing a bit of rivalry.
We're missing that, man. You gotta get messy out here. And I'm the perfect person to start some shit. Let's go, man. Who you with? Fort Erie or Crown, man?
Okay, let's start, man. Let's get into the show. NBA playoffs 2025.
Yes. By far the best playoffs in a bit that I've seen. Round one. You can't say Iggy.
I don't know about all that.
Iggy, cut the bullshit, man.
I don't know about all that.
Bullshit,
anyways,
bro.
man.
Are you enjoying what you're watching?
Listen,
are you not entertained?
I think we're talking like this because LeBron's out of the playoffs.
Oh, here we go.
I think that's why we're enjoying it.
Not even, man. I'm just saying across the board.
Brother, you're enjoying the playoffs with no Raptors?
I get a chance just to be a fan now, bro.
All right.
I'm invested in my Raptors, obviously.
Okay.
But now that they're out, and we'll be back next year.
I agree. We definitely will be.
But now that they're out and I can just chill, like, you know what I mean? It's like the wife and kids are gone to Jamaica. I got the house to myself. I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna let my nuts hang and chill.
Oh my God! Pause.
You know what I mean? Control out delete.
All right.
Okay, I'm enjoying it though, man. I'm enjoying it.
Pistons versus the Knicks, man.
Yes.
Pistons. They came up short. Knicks won 4-3. You got Jalen Brunson averaged pretty much 32 points a game.
Yes.
What is you guys' thoughts in this series, man? Go. You're the guest. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, it was nice to see. It was a bit reminiscent of, you know, back in the day with Detroit. You know, like that was nice to see.
Yeah.
Detroit needs to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. I just think that fan base really, like, you know, deserved it, you know, for going through all the years that they went through. But there was at times where I think it was, where was it, game 4 with that no call at the end where it should have been a foul and whatnot, right? So for the game to be that close, I think that just means that it could have been anybody's game.
Yes.
Right? So for me, it was really nice to just be able to see that that element of competition was good, even if that series. There really was just maybe one series where it was really like lopsided from start to finish, right?
Yeah.
And
Who's
that's
that, Memphis?
Cleveland and Miami.
the Cleveland Miami. That was like
Oh yeah,
was lopsided.
Cleveland in
that was bad,
Miami.
man.
That series got me thinking like maybe we shouldn't do play-in anymore. We just like because that's a play-in team and come on to lose by 60 and all that other stuff. It's just bad. Like come on. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah. So for really like, and I agree with you. There was a lot of like competition. The physicality, I really enjoy it.
think that was
letting them,
letting them play.
So for me, it's been nice to be able to see, But Knicks versus Detroit, I think that exceeded expectations because I think most people would have thought that New York would have just walked in there and just went to sleep.
I knew that wasn't going to happen. I thought really and truly that Cade Cunningham and Jalen Brunson, I thought they were going to match up. I really didn't. I thought Cade will just try and back him down the entire time. But Cade did his damn thing. We were just talking offline. That draft class, Cade, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, and I know there's some other guys, but that draft class has
not Moses.
I think that draft class has a chance to probably be up there with the 2003, 1996, 1985, being one of those top draft classes. Maybe just off of those three players alone. You know what I mean? They're definitely franchise players.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But then on the Knicks side, I mean, it was great to see. OG do his thing and Jalen Brunson do his thing.
When you say OG did his thing, what do you mean by that?
Man?
I just want to know.
He was just steady. He was guarding Cade. He made it tough. He made it
so
very difficult.
He was guarding
Cade Cunningham a bit.
How much does Cade average a series? 30?
Let's not get caught up with the stats.
I'm just saying. You said he was guarding him.
He made him work.
The eye test showed me that he was kicking his ass. That's what the eye test showed
not
me.
at all, man. But he's been very steady in regards to OG hitting timely shots. It looks like him and Mikal Bridges got a little synergy thing going on. You know what I mean? Those two on the wing, very, very problematic. You know what I mean? And then with Jalen Brunson, the only knock I have on JB, despite his clutchness, is he takes way too much field goal attempts, man. He shoots the ball way too much. I think he took like 20 plus shots just to get 30 something or 40 something.
But isn't that the role of the playoffs though? Your best players have to take most of the shots.
Jalen Brunson, you said it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's averaging like 24, 25 shots a game.
As he should.
I don't know. And you got Cat.
I think
Cat. That shit ain't going to work against Boston.
Are you going to trust in Cat like that?
I mean, he probably wasn't engaged, bro. He probably wasn't touching that rock.
If Cat don't bring his big ass on the block, man, and he just want to shoot threes, bro, that shit ain't going to work on the time,
I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think that strategy is going to work against the Celtics.
Listen, that's been working all year for them, so it gotta be.
We'll see, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
I enjoyed the series, man. Shout out to my brother Jared Jack on the coaching staff for Detroit Pistons.
Shout out Jared Jack for real.
Listen, man, congratulations on the great season. You guys will be back next year. I did think the Knicks were gonna steamroll these guys. I'm not gonna lie. Because the thing about this series, like you said, it was a very close series. The Pistons can't keep a lead.
Yeah.
They can't keep a lead.
Yeah.
They would go up by 10, 12,
yeah.
and the Knicks would come out and go and just score like 12, 14 straight points.
Yeah.
Like they can't keep a lead.
Yeah.
And that's been through the whole entire series. And then Jalen Brunson, just nobody could guard him. Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, he tried
he tried his hardest and it just didn't work.
Right.
Whoever was guarding this guy, from Malik Beasley, whoever, it was just a mismatch. And the shooting, as far as Malik Beasley, he's just he's hot and cold.
Streaky.
He's just hot and cold. For a guy to, that's what he does most of the time. Like,
and he self-proclaimed himself as the best shooter in the world.
No, I think it was him and Ant with the most threes this year. I think Ant was number 1. Ant Edwards, and he was number 2.
Yeah, Malik.
So he said he's the best shooter in the world, though. I'm like, man.
I would, if I was Detroit Pistons, I'm going after Devin Booker.
So that means
he's a hometown kid. If I can keep Cade, keep Duran needs to work on his post game. He needs more post moves.
Yeah.
If I can keep Duran and if I can keep Cade.
What about my Felly Yardman? My
Stewart didn't play. I don't know why he didn't play.
I think he was hurt, man.
Because he would have made a difference. He would have made a difference.
He would have made a huge difference
because he would have out-toughed
But
some
at
guys.
the same time, Detroit still has Ivy, who got hurt. Ivy.
Yes, he was hurt too. Yeah.
So would you want to run it back with Ivy?
No.
Or try and pursue
he
Booker?
He doesn't fit there. He
You don't
doesn't
think
fit.
so?
No, he doesn't fit. That team, he doesn't fit, and this is why he wasn't playing before he even got injured. He just doesn't fit. He needs to go somewhere else.
You know, what I've learned is like a lot of times with the playoffs, it has to do with like matchups, right? I just think like down the stretch for how many possessions are going to be played, a team like New York Knicks with how Cat plays, Cat's a trail big.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to put your rim protecting big to
Out
go
there.
all the way out
Right.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like I just think like for a fairly young playoff team, like it was just like a bad like matchup. Tibbs coached the hell out of that series for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? He knew how to
Right.
manipulate which matchups. He knew when to let. I got no problem with Jalen Brunson taking
of
25
course,
shots.
Of course,
Me
you
neither.
will.
Me
Of course.
neither. Me
And
neither.
I'm all for
Yeah.
Me neither.
the point
The guy
guys.
hit
getting
the
them-
guy
roles
hit
are
the
defined,
beater.
if the roles are defined, and I know that okay, this is who we're gonna go down with and whatnot, like yo, I'm good with that.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, OG and Bridges they're chilling. They're chilling
Yo,
on the
listen,
corners
the
waiting.
guy hit the buzzer beater
That was sick. That was sick. I'll give you that. That was
against
That
Eamon
was
Thompson
sick.
and just had to do
Right.
flying.
right. But that was. I
know
mean,
what I mean?
that was
Like,
Thompson.
come on, man.
Thompson's is he a rookie? He's still a rookie, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, he did that against a rookie, man.
I'm
He
just
has
saying.
Drew Holiday to worry about next.
Well, we'll see.
We're gonna be talking about his 25 attempts,
Right.
and he only scored 12 points. And you're gonna be like, damn, Brunson got to get off that ball a bit.
Mhm.
Well,
gonna be saying that.
Like he said, the matchups might be a little different now, right? Like you said, where Cat is a trail big.
Yeah.
So he's met at the 3-point line.
Yeah.
So shit is open.
Yeah.
Like that thing is open. This is why you see Brunson gun to the basket
Down
so
to the back.
freely.
Yeah.
Because it's open. The big gotta meet. He has to meet at the 3-point line. If he doesn't, Cat's coming down. He's hitting that. He's hitting it. So he has to. On defense, he got to meet at the 3-point line.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Boston plays 5 out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it is
but
what it is, man.
what do you guys think about this next series, Boston versus the Knicks? How do you think this will go? What is your thoughts on this next series?
It's gonna be matchups for sure. I think the first thought that I have is probably got to go try to see if they're gonna put Cat on. Who is Cat gonna guard? That's gonna be the
Porzingis.
number one because
Who?
Cat's big and.
Gonna have to guard Porzingis.
Yeah,
They're gonna
But
have
then
to match
does
up.
that mean they go small then?
Yeah, they're gonna have to go small.
They're gonna have to, but
Yeah.
off of the thing with Cat though is that Cat fouls a lot. So if I can't keep Cat out of foul trouble, do I hide him on other people or do I put him on? Is Porzingis gonna sit there and shoot threes, or are you gonna take him to the basket a little bit? Are you gonna post him up? Are you gonna back
I
him
almost
down?
think they're like the same player, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Both big ass
Mhm. Mhm.
stretch fives
Yeah.
that just want to be on the perimeter.
Yeah.
They don't bang.
Right.
Right.
Most of Cat's fouls are just stupid,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Porzingis, like, I think Cat could have the advantage if he just actually puts his head down and tries.
Mhm.
But
'Cause-
yep, y'all remember when Porzingis came back in the
Oh,
playoffs last year?
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked
And
very
he
good.
posted up
looked
everybody.
good.
He was drawing fouls.
But will
Yeah.
he do that?
That's
it's like
the
we
thing.
see that once in a blue moon.
Yep, that's the thing.
I don't know, man. I think this series is gonna be tougher than a lot of people think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Boston's just gonna just steamroll these guys.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
because Knicks got the wings to guard.
Listen, Knicks. They did what they did against Detroit, a lower seed team, a team that just, was lower seed, didn't have a great record, but still
Mhm.
made it to the playoffs. I think when when the Knicks match up with top echelon teams, they didn't win they didn't even win a regular season game. They went 0-4 against
Knicks.
Boston.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
production, I think it's more of a mind game as an OG fan and supporter. When we used to play against the Raptors, when he was with the Raptors playing against the Knicks, playing against Boston, he would always, I don't know, man, he'll have a great game the night before, play against Boston, shit the bed. And then I think it's a mental thing with him. When he just sees that green and white, he freezes. I don't know what it is. His game, his production level just drops. Remember, Mikal Bridges had that form at the beginning of the year. I think he's gonna find that form again and just start missing.
His form
everything.
he changed it again.
He changed it again.
It's not the same.
Right.
Yeah,
I just think he's gonna be
shots
shooting.
is going in now.
I think he's gonna be shooting like how when he first came
No, about
at the
that.
beginning of the season. Because remember when they played Boston the first game of the season, right? It was Knicks versus Boston.
Right.
he was coming on that Bill Cartwright shit.
Yeah,
So,
he got rid of that shit.
Right?
Quick.
I don't know. I feel like when it's time to play against the big boys, the Knicks fumble the bag.
So what's
always.
the series? What do you got in the series?
I got a gentleman's sweep for Boston, 4-1.
I'm gonna go with Celtics in 6.
Okay. Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6.
Gotta get 2.
All right, bet.
Okay. Let's talk about the Pacers and the Bucks, man. So, this is awful. You got Tyrese Haliburton. He averaged about 17, 6, 12 assists. Yeah. You got Pascal, averaged 20, 24 assists. Miles Turner, who played phenomenal in that series. I'll give it to him. He averaged 18, 6, 2. Andrew Nembhard.
That's the man right there. Point guard,
15
man.
and 3
Shout
and
out
5
Gus.
assists.
Shout out all y'all, man. Vaughn, I don't know what you guys be doing over there. But yeah, them Vaughn Hoopers are doing it.
Oh, yeah.
What is your thoughts on this series?
I would say, like, that was probably the series that I was least invested in. Like, I would say, like, for the rest of the series, I wanted to know, like, how teams are going to perform against each other. I would say for that one, as soon as I heard, hey, they might come back, I knew it was never, like, going to be... Like, if he did come back, he wasn't going to be himself. That's number one. And he's such a vital piece to that team that, like, it just meant that the offense was not going to run the same way. And, like, you in terms of getting momentum, it was going to be very hard for that team to do so.
Right.
So we're talking about Dame, right? We're not talking about when KD came back, because that's the first thing I thought about. Remember when KD came back for the finals against the Raptors, right?
I was scared.
Injured. Scared, right? He comes
They won that game too.
KD's
when he busted his Achilles. Yeah, they
KD
won that game.
It's not the same thing. We're talking about a small guard compared to a 7-foot guy. Right? It's not going to be the same. And also, like, let's be serious. Like, blood clot is no joke.
No joke.
Blood clot is no joke.
No.
But why did he come back so soon?
That's
the $1 million question.
That's where I'm like trying to think about the health of these players, where you might be better off not playing at all. Right? But overall, looking at Milwaukee in general as a, like, organization, there was just been too many switches from the time they won the championship when they had Drew Holiday. What they failed to realize was that the reason why you were the best defensive team is because Drew Holiday is fighting over those pick and rolls.
That's it.
He's fighting over the pick and roll. So you can't sacrifice Drew Holiday and bring in Dame,
who doesn't defend at all.
And then it messes up your you have no identity now.
Right.
What kind of team are you? Are you an offensive team that just, like, we're going to rely on Dame and Giannis pick and roll? Or are we a defensive team, which is what actually got them the championship? Because that meant Drew Holiday, he was guarding 1 through 5 through that run.
Bottom line, the real MVP right there.
Yeah.
That's why Knicks ain't winning shit.
So for me, it was really just that. It was like, I didn't know what identity Milwaukee was going to have. You have Giannis, but in today's NBA, it's not enough to have one player.
Man, he needed help. This guy was shooting like 70%. This guy was like 35 or some crazy shit. Like, he had no help.
No help.
You know, and then when you look at the last game, like, they won a game. The last game, Gary Trent Jr., he just if you just catch the ball, you win the game. Turn the ball over. They lost the game. I think they were up by like 7 in like 30 seconds. Or some crazy shit. Like, and then again, defense. Like, you turn the ball over. Okay, cool. You're up by 1.
Yeah.
You got to at least allow Tyrese to shoot that ball.
Right.
Don't let him just drive.
Right.
And then there's no help. Help. Like, you see him getting beat. Help. Like, that shit was just, like, confusing. So, I don't know.
What I'm realizing also in today's NBA, it's a lot of these players, depending on injuries or trades or that kind of stuff, they're being put in situations that they didn't think they were going to be put in at the beginning of the year. So someone like Gary Trent, if you told Milwaukee Bucks, listen, you're going to win a championship, we're going to trade Chris Middleton, and at the end of the year, Gary Trent Jr. is going to be your second leading scorer.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody could have seen that coming. You know what I mean? So it's like he was kind of put in that situation. So yes, you have to step up, but yes, I also have an understanding from my, just being a coach. Like, that's not what he was brought to do.
Right.
You know?
And Kuzma just gave you
nothing.
know
what I mean? Like,
Kuzma gave them nothing all series.
Yeah.
I think he had a game where it was just zeros down the whole friggin'.
Yeah.
It was bad.
You guys can't say that Tyrese Haliburton's overrated anymore.
I'm still saying that.
Nah, you're just disrespectful.
He's overrated.
And it's guys like you that make his dad step out of pocket.
And that's why and that's why Giannis should slap the shit out of his dad.
Real talk.
That was a free body right there.
Yo, man.
That was a free body. He should have slapped the shit out of his dad. That's a free body. That was a free body.
Dad's hearing y'all talk about the man's kid.
That's why his ass
saying that he's overrated.
That's why his dumb ass is bad. He drink too much. Giannis should have slapped the shit out of him. That's a free body. All Giannis had to do was say, listen, I was in fear of my life. This fan is on the court, which he shouldn't be on the court. That's a free body. Giannis is a good man. I would have slapped the shit out of his daddy.
He's a very good man.
I would have slapped the shit out of his daddy. I'm sorry.
But why do you think he's overrated? Like
I just think you see, okay, you know what annoys me with players when they talk shit when they're up. I'm a type of nigga that's talk shit in the beginning of the game,
right?
And when we're losing, I'm still talking,
right.
I'm not. He's a front runner to me, right? You want to talk shit when he want to talk shit all the time when they losing.
So it has nothing to do with his production. I
just don't think his game. Like, is he a top 5 point guard in the NBA right now? I don't even think so.
I think most would consider yes.
Most would consider
yes. Okay, we can break it down. Are you going to take Brunson over him? I think so. Are you going to take Kyrie over him? I think so. A healthy Kyrie, you're going to take over him every time. Are you going to take, let's name the point guards here real quick.
Shea, of course.
Shea, you're taking him. You're taking Luka.
You're taking Steph.
Even no defense Luka. You're taking Steph. Like, I'm not, that's just 5 right there. I can keep going.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dame, you're even taking Dame. I might take Melo.
No.
I might take
I think right now, because you mentioned Kyrie. Kyrie got hurt. So
I'm talking in the NBA. There's 400, whatever, how much players.
Listen.
Are you taking, is Tyrese Haliburton a top 5 point guard in the NBA? I don't think so.
It's debatable, man.
I don't think so. I'm taking Darius Garland over him.
It's debatable, man.
Like, there's a lot of guys that I would take over him. He's not a top 5 point guard. So
Garland called out Tyler Hero and then didn't show up. So I don't know.
Are you taking De'Aaron Fox over him?
No.
I think the reason why he gets a lot of that is just because like the game's not sexy. You know what I mean? Like it's like the form is not the orthodox. You know what I mean?
But it's also like the pace. Gets everybody involved.
For the team that he has,
it works.
When he gets paint touches, he kicks the ball. Everybody gets so involved. He's so valuable to that.
Everybody eats.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see.
In the Cavs series.
Let's see.
I bet you none of that shit.
I think Indiana's gonna take game 1. Tell you the truth, man.
Yeah, all right. When is it? Game 1 is today or tomorrow?
Right now.
All right. Let's move on to Clippers and the Nuggets, man. This was probably my favorite series in the whole playoffs. Kawhi averaged 25, Harden 18. You know, Norm Powell 16. Shout out to Norm Powell doing his thing. Zubac 17 and 10. Man, these when you have Jamal Murray and he's an engaged Jamal Murray and he's shooting the way he's shooting the ball, Denver Nuggets could probably win the championship again. That team and the way they, because the one thing about Joker's just gonna be who he is. Don't matter. If he doesn't have bad shooting games really. He's always, I think a few games ago he had like 9 rebounds. Like he didn't hit his average. But those guys, and then you're gonna have Aaron Gordon who just plays off of just he just plays hard. Right? He's always in the right place at the right time, catching dunks, like catching offensive rebounds. Plays smart, mismatches. You know, he shoots wide open shots when he's open. Doesn't do too much, just does enough. Right? And then if you look at the points total, he got 25 and 8, 3 offensive like that's just how it looks, right? But the key to that team is Jamal Murray. If he plays and averages 25 and he plays like playoff Murray, no one's beating this team. And it started off slow and he goes up and down. But when this guy plays just the way he's supposed to play, you're not beating this guy, man.
I'm glad they got Westbrook and Brun because they kind of offset Jamal Murray when he goes through those lapses of not scoring or
game 7. They went on a 24-4 run. In 5 minutes. 24-4 run in 5 minutes.
That third quarter was just
that third quarter was nasty.
Yeah.
And for real, and now nobody could talk about Harden being better than D Wade or Iverson. Thank you.
Whoever said that is
whoever
stupid.
said that, like
who would say that?
The younger group, you'll
Come
be
on,
surprised what this
man.
younger
That's
generation
just-
says about these
That's
guys, bro.
stupid. Come on, let's be honest.
Holy
He's
Harden, man! Like I guess he's more regular season.
No, just don't put him in a game 7.
Game 7, that's
Just
4
don't
teams,
put him in a
bro.
game 7, yo.
That's 4 teams he played on and experienced a game 7 and lost.
That's just bad.
That's
man.
a you problem, B. You got to fix that, man.
I'll say this, like with the thing with the Denver Nuggets, it's they're showing that like team basketball can always win. Right.
Yeah.
I think like the pieces fit well together.
Mm-hmm.
They know who their go-to guy is. Their go-to, MVP is like unselfish guy.
Yeah.
Right? He'll make the right plays. You have guys that'll cut off the ball. You have Aaron Gordon who will, sit in that dunker
everything.
spot, just dunk, right? And then you also have Jamal, like you said, like at the end of games, late clock, if I need somebody to create the shot, he's gonna be the person that's gonna create. I will say, like, for me, the biggest like concern with that would be there's been a lot of talks about their depth, right? When we say depth, are they gonna have enough different ways to attack different teams in the playoffs? Because like if you make it difficult on Joker and you take away shots from Jamal, are you relying on Westbrook to now have to create?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So like I think like that's where like teams could really end up like, because where the Clippers really took a few games was when they made it difficult. They kind of went into this little zone, right? Whenever Jokic would catch the ball. But then where Nuggets counter reacted to that was that they said, okay, you know what? You're going to go into a zone. I'm going to put my best playmaker, which is Jokic. I'm going to put him at the free throw line. And that's where he started killing it.
He can pick them apart. And you had
but anyway, that's how you bust a zone anyway.
Yeah.
You have the dunker spot, but get that ball to the free throw line extended.
Yeah. And then he was surgical with it.
He was surgical.
Yes,
and Westbrook was actually hitting. He was hitting threes, which is unusual, right? It's not him, right?
Uncontested threes, though.
In the first half, I was taking notes on the game. In the first half, I said, like, yo, Westbrook has his fingerprints all over this game.
He does everything.
Offensive rebounding.
Deflections, defense, like all those different things.
I think what summed it up was Westbrook missing the free throw and getting his own rebound and putting it back up.
Like,
I was like, it's over. It's over. And then when he got that dunk, and he hung on the rim.
And
he wanted that. He reminded me of a Finch man. That's what we do.
He wanted that technical.
When it's either we're up 30 or we're down 30. We're gonna dunk. We're gonna hang on that rim, kick that ball out. Shout out B man. Kick that ball out, and that's game, man.
He wanted that technical for sure. Anyways, we got the Lakers and Timberwolves. I think this was probably the series that was probably the most watched in the first round. Timberwolves end up getting beating the Lakers 4-1. Listen, man,
they wasn't playing Lakers in 5.
The Lakers
they weren't playing for real.
The Lakers in 5. Yes.
Man.
This what did Ant-Man say? He said Ant-Man, Superman, Batman, Wolves in 5. But this series was all about Luka, man. When I say if I want to give a person any type of blame in this series, I'm going to go 2 people. First, I'm going to start off with JJ Redick.
Yeah.
You're just a complete idiot.
Not an idiot. Stop.
No, he's an idiot. And I'm going to tell you why. What is the podcast called with him when he was on?
Grumpy Bait. Mind the Game?
No, Mind the Game.
No. So, he wasn't on Mind the Game.
Yeah, he was. He was before Nash.
Yeah.
So he's so brilliant.
Yeah.
But your dumbass did something that no coach has ever done in the history of basketball, or the shot clock era. Right. And you play your guys the whole freaking second half of a game, 24 straight minutes. And then when they ask you about, your assistant coaches, you're like, you don't think I lean on my assistant coaches? So did you not lean on, did your assistant coach tell you nothing? Don't throw them under the bus and act like they're dumb like you.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they said Nate said so.
They got Scott Brooks. That coaching staff got
come
some
on, man.
experience.
That guy is so arrogant, and it drives me crazy how he just thinks he's just, bro, you are a shit coach.
No, he's not a shit coach.
He's shit. I don't care
what
he
had a great. Everybody was praising him in the regular season.
I wasn't. That shit was all fluff.
I'm just saying he was getting praised.
That shit was all fluff.
He was getting praised.
Listen, man, we know how the NBA goes, man. We know how the NBA goes, and we know nobody plays hard in the first in the regular season. Nobody does. This is why guys like AR go off and everybody praises him when as soon as the playoffs start and he sees a real wolf in front of his face, like, do something now.
Right.
All that step back shit you was doing in the regular season, you're not doing that shit now when Ant Edwards is like, I'm locking in. So the shit is fluff in the regular season. So this is why we can't, if we can go back to where players actually played basketball, even during the regular season, then we would see. But he's getting the blame, and then Luka's getting the blame as well. Bro, you can't defend. We need thin Luka. He's fat. I don't know what happened to him. He went to America, started eating crazy. I don't know. But he's fat now. He can't even jump, bro. Let me give you something. Listen, with Luka Doncic, 23 points off of just that one game. Just off game 5. 23 points off of drives. People just driving and blowing by him. 23 points. He gave up. That's embarrassing, bro. Come on. He gave you 10 points, almost 11 points in the first quarter. And then what happened in the fourth? He gave you 4 points in the fourth quarter. Like, it's just bad. And you know, LeBron, he gets some of the blame too. Like, I'm showing him, I'm giving him a little bit of grace because he's 40. You know, I'm giving him grace because he's 40. But damn, to be 2-12 in the last 3 years in the playoffs, that's bad, man. That's bad.
It is, man. But in their defense, game 3, maybe Luka didn't, recover from that stomach bug that he got. You know what I mean? LeBron played with an MCL injury in game 5.
I don't want to hear that shit.
You know what I
Let's stop
mean?
this shit. Let's stop this shit, bro. Let's stop this shit.
And the boy Reeves, man, he had a sprained toe.
I don't want to hear that shit either.
You know, a sprained big toe.
I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit.
You know, I thought JJ was so funny. Coach Reddick, I should say. Sorry, no disrespect. Coach Reddick was so funny. He did not play Hayes, right?
Idiot.
For a while.
Dummy.
He put in a dude that didn't play since January.
Maxi Cleaver.
Put him in the game. I was like, what?
Maxi Cleaver.
That was so disrespectful.
And then you're gonna tell me he's not an idiot.
No, I think
Come on, man.
I think he
Jackson
knows something.
Hayes averaged 19 minutes, almost 20 minutes a game during the regular season. 19.5. He averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds, and he shot 72% field goal.
Yeah,
bro,
but if you do that,
Minnesota.
You're gonna lose the bench. You lost the bench right there.
But this is what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
There was no games where, I think there might have been one game there was a blowout. Most of the games were close.
Yeah.
So you don't understand if you put him in and maybe he gets a rebound here, maybe he gets a lob here. That can be the game right there. Or a momentum swing. You let a guy like Rudy Gobert get 27 and 24.
After he got his 10th rebound. After Gobert got his 10th rebound.
And you just sat there and watched him. Yo, he's worse than Steve Nash as a coach.
Don't do that.
He's worse than Steve Nash. He's horrible.
Don't do that.
You know, the thing is too, it's like, it's hard to win when you settle for threes, right? And I think like, a big part of Luka's game, if we remember last year's playoff run, was the fact that he made a guy like Derek Lively look like prime Clint Capella, where he was like able to just get, a big screener. Luka's superpower is the fact he's able to manipulate the defense.
Of course.
Right? Screener that rolls, and then after that, it's like the defense now shifts from the weak side, and then he decides, okay, am I kicking it this way? Am I this way? Or it's a lob. Either or, right?
Right.
In this series, when you don't play Jackson Hayes, if you pay attention in game 3, Jackson Hayes was rolling to the basket
all day,
and then the defense was shifting, and Rui Hachimura was cutting from the weak side, dunk. The whole game was opened up.
But this is what I mean. Just those simple things.
When you go 5 out, what ends up happening is teams just switch.
Yeah.
And now Luka has to go 1-on-1, tries to get the fouls, doesn't get the foul. Then, when Luka misses a shot, he falls, and now it's 5-on-4 on the other side. And those rolls are red.
He's always looking at the ref. He's always looking at the ref, crying and stuff.
That was the game.
So my question, do you think this is, because now LeBron's been there for how many years? How many years has LeBron been there for with the Lakers?
I would say 2018.
7 years?
Man made sure he left.
Last year, 2018.
He made sure he left as soon as Kawhi came to the East.
Yeah, so he's been there for 7 years so far. First year he got there, he missed the playoffs. Second year, 2020, he won the bubble chip. Third year, he lost the Phoenix Suns first round. Fourth year, he missed the playoffs. This was against Denver, 2023. This was the Darvin Ham. He lost, and he went to the conference finals, lost to Denver Nuggets, then lost in the first round the next year, 2024, and then he lost again in the first round to Minnesota Timberwolves. Should the Lakers move off of the LeBron era now? Is it time?
So the first part of that is that with LeBron being 40, I think it's going to be up to him, his decision, what he wants, right? If he feels like this is where he wants to, okay, well, you know, I want to waive my no trade clause because I believe he has a no trade clause.
I think him and Bradley Beal.
And then I think the next part of it too is if he does, like as an organization, I don't think so. I think you should maximize having Braun next to Luka. What I mean by that is just like you're hoping that by Luka having a whole year, because don't forget he got traded at some point like halfway through the year, right?
Yeah.
For him to have a whole year and off season with having Braun and that kind of stuff, you're kind of hoping that it translate into a future investment where it's like you're hoping that he picks up on those habits. He picks up on the kind of work ethic because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's holding Luka back, right? Everybody's talking about like, you know, get in shape during the offseason and all that kind of stuff, right? So understanding an organization and having them go through a full year, a full cycle together, I think it pays more dividends in the long run. So I don't think so. I mean, anyways.
What's your thoughts? Is it time? It's time to move on.
Move on where though? You know what I mean? This will just tarnish his legacy even more. I'm hearing Dallas to go with Kyrie and AD. How much mans do you want to go play with, bro? You know what I mean? So stay in LA. You're with Luka right now. Go through an off season training, showing Luka how to get his mind right and get ready for an NBA season. You know, a full 82 games. Hopefully Lakers get a big, you know. I seen Coach, I'm not Pelinka, but what's his name? Pelinka? The GM.
Yeah, Rob Pelinka.
Rob Pelinka. You seen him with the folders and coming out of a restaurant with Luka. So hopefully they have those type of conversations. Like, yo, bro, this is your team. We're gonna give you the keys, but we need this done. You know,
and best believe it's the Lakers, so they're going to try to maximize all the LeBron years. They're going to try to maximize them. You know, it hasn't panned off like in the past few years.
I mean, they got one ring out of it.
Yeah.
I think if you do have an opportunity, if the Lakers do have an opportunity, it's time to move on. It's time to move on from the LeBron era. Like he had this franchise on, like he's been strangling it. You bring your son on there, so it's been a circus, right? You refuse to take now you're refusing to take a pay cut. So you're like, I don't care, do what you want. Every single year, it's always I'm threatening to retire, as you see in the press conference. I don't know what I'm going to do next year to put pressure on the organization to get more players. Like, how much more years do I got to deal with this shit? Like, how many more years? I got Luka now. Bye. I don't need you.
I hear you.
Luka went to the finals with less, man. Let me just go put a few more pieces around Luka and let's call it a day. It's just too much. Every single year we got to deal with, you know, he might retire. Now he walking with a limp. And man, get out of here with that shit, man. The last time I seen that shit was at 20. I can't remember when he punched the wall and he was mad. When he lost to J.R. Smith and them guys and he came off in the friggin' after the game in the press conference, he has the soft cast. Yeah. Like, niggas, like, come on, man. I'm tired of this shit. And another reason why he can retire so his fans can go with him. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of you. When a nigga can when Bron fans DM us and they're so offended and mad and they talk about fighting and all kind of shit, like, I won't have to deal with this shit no more if he's gone.
Bottom line.
Go away.
Shit. I'll still poke fun of y'all still. You guys are funny. God, you guys are funny.
Let's move on. Let's talk about, I want to talk about, you know, we talk about the small ball stuff and just how teams when they went small ball, it affected just like how the Lakers, like, you guys are trying to play small ball.
It worked. It worked for a lot of years.
It didn't work. I think last week.
So game 4, you know, and I was texting you that stat. Yeah. I think game 4. Rui Hachimura shot 10 threes. Austin Reeves shot 12 and Luka shot 12. Right. So the threes that they're getting, and this is where I think like there has to be like a better education because like our young players are seeing this and thinking like, yo, this is the way that we have to play basketball. Yeah. Right? But if you think about it, think about it.
No, I can't.
You know what I mean?
But are they settling?
I think those are the ones.
That's the key thing. Is that a play for a three, or that ball swinging to you? No options. I'm just gonna settle for this tray ball right here.
The best threes that you can get. And this is where, like, even for us when we used to play, I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel like, I know. But when we used to play, it used to be, okay, well, you got to work inside out, right? So for me, where things are kind of changing is because the best shots you could get, right, are all generated by you getting to the paint.
That's it.
Right? Layups, free throws, corner threes. Even in the NBA, that's what they talk about. Layup, free throws, corner threes. Mm-hmm. Right now, what's happening is there's a lot of like settling where it's like, okay, I'm getting a screen, and now I'm looking at Austin Reeves, and it's like you're taking so many side steps, step backs.
Big toe injury, though.
You know what I mean?
He was hurt.
He wasn't hurt.
Like, how many catch and shoot threes are we really taking? You know, we're getting to the paint.
Right.
Because now what's end up happening is like with the way analytics is, they're telling these guys, it's better off you shoot those threes instead of taking any twos. But what that is doing, it's also like when you miss a three, you give up a layup on the other end.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it has like this kind of like effect where it's like, yo, you can't even get set up properly on defense, right? So that's why I always said, like, teams that go small ball, especially in the playoffs, they rarely have any success. Why? Because in the playoffs, the game naturally slows down.
Right. And the wrong guys are taking the threes.
Wrong guys are taking the threes.
Wrong guys. I don't think Rui Hachar or whatever his name is, his last name. Rui shouldn't be taking double-digit threes.
No.
He shouldn't. There's no way. I'm sorry.
He's settling, man. He just settled.
There's no way. And even if you look at Minnesota shot 4 for 47 on threes. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Ant was 0 for 11.
Yeah. Thanks.
He settled so much that game because he could have put the game away a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because Lakers were tired. You can see how they started off. They were tired. And they went up by 10 and they could have put their foot on their throat and they just kept settling. Three.
Settle.
I was like, this shit is just dumb. What is he doing?
When you make them, it's like fool's goal. When you make them, it's like, yay. But when you miss them, like, you don't realize the effect that it could have, because also
long rebounds, transition, bro. If you're transition defense,
you're not getting to the line. Think about this. You're not drawing fouls. You're not getting to a line. When you at the free throw line, the game slows down. You could set up on defense. You can get a stop. But now there's so much emphasis on making all these threes. When you miss them, it's up and down.
It's great. It's great for regular season. Playoffs, you gotta fix that shit up. You gotta make your adjustments.
But now what I'm starting to see too is like, I think obviously with the small ball, I saw the Clippers. The Clippers feel like to win they have to go small, right? When they had like Kawhi, I think was like one of their biggest players on the court.
They would put Batum, you'd be in there, and Ben Simmons was sometimes he was being at the 4.
Yeah. But then what's happening now is there are teams now that are like the Timberwolves, like the Houston Rockets, right? That are understanding that, like, yo, once you have your size out there, you could punish those small ball lineups by crashing, going to the offensive rebound, right? I mean, we had Rudy Gobert look like prime Shaq. In that game, you know.
He looked.
But not only
incredible.
that, we're looking at the Rockets and the Warriors. Yo, Steven Adams killing it.
Absolutely.
He had a great game, man.
You know, so there are some things that even though the game evolves, there are some things that are still fundamentally we still have to keep in our game. You know,
and it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna come back like a revolving door. Like, you know what I mean? I think the game's gonna go back to two bigs on the court.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because that's the only way you kind of counter small ball.
Teams are starting to play more zone.
Look at Rockets are doing to Golden State right now. You know what I mean?
And we're talking about how different these playoffs are. This is the most zones that I think we've seen, like, from a variety of different teams. I've seen the Warriors go zone. I see the Clippers go zone. Lakers went zone. You know what I mean? Denver went zone. When you go into a zone, like, you stagnate the offense a little bit. So now teams are settling.
Right.
And then that's how they're getting all these layups on the other end, right?
And Coach Lou said it in the post game, like, yo, when Denver went zone, kind of threw them off.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
And even Nat said, yo, I think they were into a zone. Like, you know? It's interesting. It's been interesting for sure.
I love coaches that can disguise zones. It catches you slipping that 1 or 2 possessions before you catch on. But
that's what the Clippers did. That's what the Clippers did really good.
Time when you can just disguise it. That's where I'm trying to get with coaches. Like, it's just like, dag, how do you do that? How do you execute that right there? You know what I mean?
We had 5 Raptors who were in the playoffs, right? And I want to know from you guys we had Norman Powell, Freddie, Freddie Van Vliet. We had Kawhi Leonard. We had Pascal, and we had OG. I want to ask you guys, who are you most impressed with? I know Norman Powell and Kawhi are gone, but who are you more impressed with in the playoffs so far? Our former Raptor.
I'm gonna say the way that Kawhi had that big of like was it game 2 or game 3 where he was
game 2, I believe, when he scored
2.
40. Was it 40?
Yeah. I think that was impressive to see that, like, okay, this guy can still, whenever he wants, gets to his spots. You know, whenever he gets to his right hand, he gets to wherever he wants to get on the floor. But I think longevity for where we're looking at in the span of these playoffs, I think we're gonna look back and be like Pascal had the best playoffs. You know, obviously them moving on to the next round.
Yeah.
He is such a big part to that team.
Yeah.
We talked about how stagnating it could get when you settle for threes.
Yeah.
He gives them a different dimension, right?
Mm-hmm.
For him being able to post up. Post up, get to the wing, get paint touches, all that kind of stuff, right? Has really taken a next step at guarding different sizes defensively. I think in the long run, when we look at the span of the playoffs, I think Pascal, if I were to look back at the playoffs, I think he's going to be the one that I'm going to be the most impressed with.
No, that was a very good, very good call. You know, I would say OG. I'm joking. I just want to hear this guy's voice. You know what I mean? I like Freddie. You know, I like what Fred VanVleet's doing. He's slowly turning into a vocal point offensively. He's showing everybody why Houston gave him so much money. Like everybody was questioning it for the longest while because of his size or whatever. But he's having a great. Hopefully they win. You know, and advance to the next round. But hopefully they lose. You know what I mean? Fred had a great game, but they lose and Golden State advances. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, I'm gonna go with Fred VanVleet.
Freddie, I'm gonna go with Norm is averaging I think he averaged 19 in this series, but man, I'm gonna go with Pascal.
Yeah.
He averaged 20 in this series.
Oh, Fred's averaging 19, my bad.
Yeah. Is he? Is he? Only
so far 19.
Okay. Cause I know the last 3 games he racked off like 25 plus.
29 last game. Yeah, the last 3 games been 20 plus.
Freddie, it's so funny because Freddie, Draymond said that Freddie is the reason why the Raptors beat them in the finals a few years ago in 2019.
Very good point.
So, but I'm gonna go with Pascal. Pascal doesn't do a lot. Like he doesn't do, when I mean a lot, he doesn't need to dribble
game,
to just get off. He'll grab the ball, just go a little floater quickly. He'll turn around, face up. He'll shoot his jump shot. He doesn't do a lot. It's just so effective.
Right.
He just is so damn effective.
Then you got Miles Turner on the perimeter. Yeah. So that's gonna bring out one of those Cleveland bigs.
So the big is out.
Yeah. Evan Mobley's gonna have to guard Pascal off the bounce.
Yeah. And he doesn't back down. Like he wasn't backing down from Giannis. Like, yes, Giannis, you might be the best player in the world, but I don't care.
Yeah.
We're going to war.
And let's keep it a buck.
And this is why I always wanted to keep him in Toronto.
Pascal has gotten better every year.
Yeah.
Seems like every year the man just adds something to his game and gets better.
The last thing we're gonna do, we're talking about NBA Suns duel.
Oh, come on now. Let's do it.
Talk to me.
Let's do it, man. Just picture this, man. Just picture this, fellas. Picture this right here. So we got a bunch of guys from the NBA. They got their sons going to college right now. Sorry, you know. So let's just picture them playing in a tournament, a 2-on-2 tournament. All right. You got Carlos Boozer. We can't take both of his sons because it's 2-on-2. And he can't have a sub. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta take the best one.
You gotta take the best one. So we're gonna go Carlos Boozer in his prime versus Carlos Boozer in his prime and Cameron Boozer. Okay. Versus Jermaine O'Neal and Jermaine O'Neal Jr. So Jermaine O'Neal in his prime.
Jermaine O'Neal Jr.'s son, I think he's going to SMU, I believe.
Yes, I believe he's going to SMU.
Southern Methodist.
Yes.
And Cameron's going to Duke. Okay.
All right. So Carlos Boozer in his prime, his best statistical season, he was averaging 10 rebounds, 2 assists when he was with Utah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better years in Utah, yeah.
Okay. Cameron Boozer, obviously, senior year in high school, averaged like 22, 12, 3. Gatorade Player of the Year. You know what I mean? Big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Won like 3 or 4
right.
straight state champions. Okay.
Jermaine O'Neal in his prime, 03. Best
Portland or Indiana Pacers?
Indiana.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? He was averaging like 20 and 10.
Yeah.
Solid. And
yep.
Jermaine O'Neal Jr., who's going SMU, 22 and 12, and 5 blocks. And Jermaine is a rim protector. So he inherited, little Jermaine inherited that.
Yeah.
So who would you guys go with? If they were playing 2-on-2 right now, who's winning that game?
The Boozers.
You going with the Boozers?
Yeah. Boozers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Boozers as well.
Boozers got too much size there.
Yeah, too much size?
Yeah.
Too much size.
But shout out to Jermaine though, like going straight from high school.
Yeah, that was
like
big time. That was big time.
Back then too.
Yeah. I don't think it could happen anymore now.
I don't think so. Nah.
Boozers.
Boozers all around?
Boozers.
All right, cool. So we got another one. It's a 16 tournament.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we got Carmelo Anthony in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about 2012, 2013. I think he was with the Knicks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Averaging 28 per game. Taking the scoring title, beating out Kobe and Durant and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
With Cayenne, who did his damn thing this year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Going to Syracuse. Okay. I think it was Mr. New York.
Yeah, Mr. Basketball in State of New York.
Yes.
Yep.
Big time scorer.
Yeah.
All right. You got another scorer. They're going to play against Gilbert and Elijah Arenas.
Ooh, it's tough.
So imagine Gilbert in his prime, 05, 06.
Agent zero.
Damn, they're averaging 30 and 6, 2 steals. You know what I mean? And Elijah.
I don't know about this one.
And Elijah Arenas.
Oh no, this one's tough.
You know what I mean?
That was a tough one for sure.
I don't know.
It ain't that tough. It ain't that tough.
Freaking Elijah 6'6".
I know.
Cayenne is like I think 6'4", 6'5".
Right.
Mm.
I'm gonna go with the Anthonys, man.
Who gets the ball first?
Right? That's the question.
Who gets the ball first?
Because Prime Gil, man.
Right.
Problem.
Yeah.
Agent Zero?
Come on.
Yeah.
And
hitting threes, turning around before it goes in.
Come on.
Yeah. From the logo too.
That's tough.
And Elijah's a problem, man.
Elijah's a problem.
He's just having fun out there with these kids, bro.
Yeah.
He's a problem. I don't know, man.
I'm going with Carmelo and Cayenne. I just think they're just scores. And Carmelo taught his son.
I'm gonna give it to the Anthonys.
Give it to the Anthonys here.
Why? Because Carmelo had a longer run of this.
Mm-hmm.
Agent had it just for a few, 3-4 years maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was an all-star. It was crazy those years. Man, but I don't know, man. I think Elijah might get his son, though.
Yeah.
Elijah might get You might get Cayenne, though, man.
Yeah.
Elijah's tough. I don't know.
If the Arenas get the ball first, I'm going with the Arenas.
You going to the Arenas?
I'm going with the Arenas.
Okay,
I just think, like, the two of them are just machine scoring, right? Mm-hmm. So I just think, like, it's just, you got to think about it. Like, these guys
Carmelo
are like...
Anthony's D is not
the... You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's 6'6".
I'm changing my pick, man. I'm going with the Arenas. I'm changing my pick. I'm going with the Arenas.
Elijah's 6'6", right?
Yes.
Like, you know?
But they're not... They're bucket getters, but they're not Anthony bucket getters.
Those guys are buckets.
Yo, think about it.
Prime Agent Zero?
In this matchup, those 4 players, 3 of them could post up. Carmelo and both Arenas.
Right.
Cayenne Anthony is getting posted up.
You think so? Every single time?
and Carmelo, if Agent gets the ball, he has to guard. He has no chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
I'm still sticking with the Anthony.
I'm going with the Arenas, man.
I'm going with the Arenas?
Yeah. I'm going with the Arenas.
All right. And then the last game. Well, this will be first round, but whatever. But this will be the last game of this tournament. We got LeBron James in his prime. All right. He had a lot of prime years, but I'll go with his
2018.
I'll go with 2009.
29, okay.
2009 when he was averaging 28.4, 7.6 rebounds with 7.2 assists. His player efficiency rating was 31.76. You know what I mean? Well, no, sorry. Let's go with 05-06. We saw him score his most points per game, 31.4. The 2009 season was generally considered statistically superior due to his overall efficiency and impact. So we had a lot of different years. But prime LeBron with Bryce James, who's going to Arizona. Okay.
Who else is next? Shit.
They're gonna be playing against Andre Iguodala.
Oh,
okay.
Man. Come on, man.
07-08, with the Sixers, he averaged 19.9. Also 5.4 rebounds, 4.6 assists. Listen,
you ain't got to finish, bro.
And then you got Iguodala. You got Andre Iguodala's Jr.
I just heard of him just a few weeks ago when he committed to Baylor. I don't know nothing about this kid.
Listen.
It's over. The Jameses, bro. Go ahead. The Jameses, bro.
I only went with this matchup. I only went with this matchup because Andre took that MVP from LeBron. Technically, LeBron should have been the
winner on the losing team.
On the losing team.
Yeah.
He should have. You know what I mean? And compete with Jerry West. But that's the only reason why we're doing that matchup. I think Andre Iguodala can slow him down a bit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But
slow him down to 30 points a game. That's okay.
But I'm going with the Jameses, and I think Bryce is going to be something different.
Yeah,
as he develops.
I would go. You know what? I could go with Brown as well. Yeah, I just think if Braun took Sasha Pavlovich to the finals,
you can take Bryce.
You can take Bryce for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. But this is a good opportunity. For those that were able to watch Sixers Iguodala play,
he was tough.
Andre was really, really, really good, man.
Wasn't they were a high scoring guy?
You remember there was a time they were like, we got two AIs.
Remember that?
He was crossing. He was crossing.
It was dirty. He was nice with it.
That oop behind him. Super athletic.
Yeah. Very athletic.
So we're seeing the more older version with the old Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Sixers Iguodala
was a problem.
He was all right.
No, I'm still picking the James. I'm sorry.
All right. So man, I just want to shout out the dads, man. Shout out the dads that are actually doing it for their youngins, and it's great to see a lot more pros and seeing their sons now following their footsteps. They kind of get the cheat code in regards to what it takes to be a pro, but I want to spice it up a bit with this.
Yeah. I think what's missing from these guys having their kids in there, the reason why they played was because there was a pain or there was something that was fueling them to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of their players, they're kind of brought up with.
They're brought up in it.
You have AAU, you have all this and all that kind of stuff. So you could see the skill set and them being around NBA resources, but the grit and the wanting to get to the next level, I think that's what's missing.
That's the key right there. That's the key right there. Super skilled, but they're gonna have that hunger that their dads had.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta give a shout out. Have you guys been keeping up with Jamal Crawford and his son?
Oh, come on, man.
Keep up.
Yeah, I've seen it.
The way he's
what is it called? Rotary or
Seattle Rotary? Yeah. The way they're breaking down, he's breaking down the game, and the way his son,
it's scary.
He is gonna be nice.
What's really scary about the way he's raising his son too, and what he's teaching him is because a lot of times with naturally skilled guys, they can't really explain the game away.
Yeah.
Jamal has a way that he breaks it down.
Yeah.
And I think it makes it very digestible for a younger kid. So you could see the kid is already playing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really nice to see. I'm very intrigued to see that kid's development for sure.
Facts. He looks good though. I ain't gonna lie. Anyways, last thing we're gonna discuss. We're moving on to hip hop. It's been a year since the beef. It's been 1 year since the Drake and the Kendrick Lamar beef. I want to ask you guys, what is you guys' thoughts? So in the beef, we had Like That. We had Push-Ups. Then we had Tailor Made. Then we had Euphoria, 616 in LA, Euphoria. And then we had Meet Family Matters, Meet the Grams, Not Like Us, and then Heart Part 6. But the Drake was the last one. What is you guys' thoughts on this beef? It's 1 year, but yes, we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
We are. What is your thought? I want to ask you guys, what is your favorite song? And what is your favorite line? We're going to rap today. We are going to be rappers today.
There's only one.
What is your favorite song and what is your favorite line?
Yeah. There's only one answer.
Family Matters is one.
Okay, what's your favorite line from Family Matters?
Kendrick
I had a few. You know what I mean?
Give me one of your favorite lines, and you need to rap it.
Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a granny right now. Right? That and just seeing how that kind of came to fruition.
Yes.
He called it. You know what I mean? And the other line was, a cease and desist is for hoes. Can't listen to lies that come out of your mouth. You called the Tupac estate and begged them to sue me and get that shit down. I thought Taylor Made was a classic diss. I heard DJ Head on Mal and on that podcast.
I'm so glad.
And maybe I'm just cut from a different cloth.
Right.
They're saying, using somebody's voice
is
disrespectful, but it's AI. I thought that's more of a compliment. Weren't they doing holograms for Pac back in the day?
But my thing is, if it's so disrespectful, why could Kendrick try to sound like Pac and reincarnate it? He sounded like Pac. Right? But it was okay. Let's just be honest. Because it's Drake, that's the reason why they're bothered and Snoop had no issues with it either.
Right, and they kind of just, I felt like everybody just looked over Taylor Made.
Yes.
And Taylor Made was one of the most creative tracks. Like,
absolutely.
Utilizing AI and all that. Yeah. So, yeah, those are my two lines right there.
What is your song?
Stole mine,
Family Matters.
You stole mine, man. You stole mine, man. Yo, it's just so epic. The beat change.
Oh my God.
It could have been 3 different songs.
Could have been 3 different.
Don't want to go ahead and grab me right now. For me, it's just crazy that it happened. Right. You know what I mean? Yo, after that, he goes on and win 5 Grammys. After that,
he
calls it. Right. You know what I mean? But to that, I think for me being a Drake fan, I'm a Drake fan since Replacement Girl. This is all the way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Comeback season.
When everybody said on that song, Trey Songz was gonna be the guy. And I'm
yeah.
Okay. They're like, yo, F Drake. Trey Songz is gonna be the guy.
But it was interesting. I called my cousin. I was like, yo, I think the guy from Degrassi just came out with a song. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, it was nice to see that, you know? Yeah. And then from then, it's you see it So Far Gone, comeback season, and everything. So for me, seeing that he was able to grow to this, the fact that somebody gets into some kind of rap beef with him, and just them mentioning the name gets them 5 Grammys.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And he's on tour, right now, singing it over and over and over and over and over again.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. I think Family Matters is the best song in this whole entire beef. I think that was Song of the Year last year. I'm gonna keep it 100. But my favorite line from that song, when he goes, "Why did you move to New York? Is it because you live in that bachelor life? Propose in 2015, but don't want to make her your actual wife? I guess this wedding ain't happening, right? Because we know the girl that you actually like. The darker secret is coming to light." And he goes, "It's all in your face like what happened to Mike." You see what he said? He goes, "It's all in your face like what happened to Mike. Oh shit, it's all making sense. Maybe I'm Prince and you actually Mike." Oof. Mike was praying his features would change.
Yeah.
Because to make people believe that he was actually white.
Boy. Talk to him.
Top would make you do features for change. Jump on Pop Records to rap for the whites.
Yo.
But it's not done. Rap for the whites. And wait, you say your brother's Jermaine, but you wanted him to stay out of the light.
Just like Jermaine.
J. Cole. I don't want this guy.
Yeah.
What did Michael Jackson? He didn't want little Jermaine in the group.
And Jermaine was nice with it.
If you just look at how he broke
that shit down. You gotta love it.
The way he broke, how you're psycho. How do you do that crazy? That's crazy.
Right?
Crazy.
It is nuts. It is nuts, man.
Come on, man. And people want to talk about his penship game like this shit is not.
Yeah.
And this is what Maul meant when he said he outbarred him.
Right.
How do you come up with some shit like this?
Facts.
And it makes sense. Just when you break this bar down, when he's talking about Michael Jackson praying his features would change. Remember, Michael Jackson's shit started changing. He started looking like a white guy. Remember, he didn't like how his nose looked, and he changed it. He wanted to look white.
Right.
And he goes, "Yo, you Top, which is Top Dog, made you do features for change. Get on Pop Records and rap for the whites."
Right.
Who does he have records with? Taylor Swift, Maroon 5, all these guys.
Right.
You're more pop than me. What are you talking about? Come on, man. Anyway, that's all I gotta say, man.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Do you think Drake would have been considered winning the beef by everyone had Family Matters been split up? Because the first verse was all Kendrick based.
Yeah.
The third, I think it was the second verse, was more of like ASAP Rocky and
Everybody got
all the other guys. And then the third one was still like a mix of both.
I think he should have split it in 3 different songs. If I was him, I would have waited. I would have dropped the first one, and I would have made that one whole song, and then waited for Kendrick to respond, and then drop the second verse, and wait for him to respond, and then drop the third. I would have made it all 3 songs, but I think I think in this whole battle he was doomed from the beginning, anyways. Because I think it was just a plot.
But then I think that also speaks to his level too, right? Because like if in one song I gotta, you know what? Let me just talk about these 3 guys and get it over with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me just like, let me just make one track.
Bro, he killed. We haven't heard from ASAP Rocky ever since. Like, he killed them. He talked about, you hit my baby mom first, but think about who I was hitting back then. Talking about I was hitting Rihanna back then. Nigga, what? We ain't heard. Like, what are you talking about? You want to brag about hitting my BM? Who cares? I don't care. You know who I was doing back then, nigga? Like, come on, bro.
Yo,
disrespectful.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Disrespectful. Man. Anyway, that's all I got, man.
I think just I guess more from like a educational like standpoint, right? Like for young up and coming rappers and people that are in the game and all that kind of stuff, you know. Not me, I don't rap. So I feel like there's also like some unsung kind of like rules to this thing, right? So for me, I found it weird that they started out of nowhere. Like he brought up someone's kids, families. Isn't there a rule where it says like you can't bring up a certain, or is like if everything is on the table?
Tupac told Biggie, that's why I drew.
You
know what I mean? That's why I'm just saying, man. Like,
all right.
Apparently, there was a conversation that Kendrick had with him, saying that I guess let's keep things out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. And then all of a sudden Drake just said, "F, I'm going here." You know what I mean? I don't believe it. And then apparently I was watching DJ Head. He went back on his radio station he does with this girl Gina Views, who's just annoying as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, how Kendrick asked for the fade and Drake said no. Drake's fucking 6-something and Kendrick is 5'4". Shut the fuck up. They're not fighting, bro. Shut up. Like this Kung Fu Kenny shit. Like, shut up. I don't care if he's from Compton. He's not fighting. He's too small. Stop lying.
You don't
just lying for no reason.
The man does push-ups though.
Man, he can do a million of them. The nigga's 5'4", bro.
Those type of push-ups though.
Guy's 5'4". Shut up, bro. You're not fighting anybody.
I'm just saying, man. All we need is
people
one
just
hit,
they just talking just to be talking. Anyway,
we're swinging up, but if we connect,
right?
If we connect though,
like what are we doing here? Ain't nobody that little whooping me. I don't care what you say.
There we go, man.
Ain't happening.
I want to shout out Andrew Nemhard, man, real quick. Once again in the playoffs, completed a round 1, taking out the Bucks.
Yeah.
Just remember, he was even talking smack, saying like, "We're ready for the Olympics."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's so comfortable out there.
He's so comfortable. He looks so good out there. Control out delete. He averaged 15 and 5 as a starter. You know what I mean? Getting ready to play against Cleveland. He's getting better every year.
Yeah.
I remember him from when he was younger, hooping with us. You know what I mean? And he was probably like grade 8, grade 9 sometimes, hooping with men. You know what I mean? So
really
he was just on another level with it, man. So I just want to shout out Andrew. Keep going. I call you a point guard for a reason, and you're putting everybody on notice. And I see the little memes of him, the Andrew Nemhard bump.
Shoulder, yeah.
That shoulder bump is real, man. He's in the weight room.
This is what I'm trying to teach my kids, to not make it so obvious. A lot of my kids, they'll be like this.
Going out their way.
I'm like, brother, that's an offensive foul. Stop doing that. He's hitting you, but he's not extending. Right.
So keep doing it, man. Shout out Andrew Nemhard, man. One of Canada's finest.
Facts.
And yeah, man. Coach O, man, thank you.
Coach O, appreciate you, brother.
Where can we follow you on social media, man?
Oh man, first of all, thank you for having me, man.
Yes.
Coach O 365. I also try to like simplify the game of basketball. I started like a little account, Ask Coach O.
Yeah.
So any questions anybody has, like, feel free to ask me. That's what I if I feel like that's what I could do for the game, right? Just help as much as I can. Right? Been fortunate to be given opportunities, so I'm looking forward to giving back.
Great. Appreciate you, man. And that's it, man. Continue to follow us on all social media platforms. Hit that like, share, notification. Hit all that because we're doing this for y'all, man. You know what I mean? Shout out Title League. That McCants interview, man. Holy. He talking this shit. But our boys are ready for him, though.
Yeah.
The man, am I ready for him, yo? We see you, man.
They got him.
You know, distant cousins out here, man. We got your back over here, too, baby. All day. And we out.